This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
Hello, everyone. You were fed last week. I hope you've digested all that hour-long content.
Yeah, we're fed, mamas. We are fed.
I loved it.
Yeah, you guys got to suckle off of the bloated teat of a ton of content last week.
Suckle off the bloated teeth.
I'm in my poetry era.
I mean, wow, but like kind of like dirty.
Yeah. Well, it paints a picture. Also, half of my mouth is numb.
Yeah.
I just came from the dentist and it is wearing off. So by the time this podcast ends, I will probably not be talking with a lisp anymore, but I'm desperately trying to protect my tongue from being bitten because that's the hardest thing about it.
You really have this like 90s kind of like cool lispy girl. Like remember Joey King, like from Chasing Amy?
Yeah.
Like you've got this like cool lisp.
What do they call it? Like a tongue thrust or something?
You really are into dirty poetry.
Sorry.
You're going to thrust that tongue at that bloated nipple teat.
There you go. I forgot that I do like my dentist is very aggressive in the sense of we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
About how they upsell you everything.
You go to a dentist that feels like it's on a car lot. That they're trying to like upsell you packages. Like mine are just like for the love of God floss.
Yeah, they're doing that and then they're going and also, does this area of your tooth ever get sensitive? And I'll be like, yeah, a little bit sometimes. And they're like, oh, because you have this other long name that they'll explain, like as if I'm in like a dentistry class, and like they're going above and beyond to give me like over information about it. But it's always like, would you like fluoride? Would you like this? Would you like? And this can be a 30-second thing, or this, or we can schedule they schedule your next appointments, like while you're still there.
That is a thing of, I would say, dentists and vets in general. And like with
it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing, but also like I don't know what I'm doing in 4 days.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can get a teeth cleaning on April 9th.
Yeah. So I'm always going, they're like, what date do you want? And I'm like, April 12th? I don't know. And then I'm hoping.
Seems pretty free.
Right. So I put in this last time, December 10th. For this appointment that I thought was just another cleaning thing.
Oh, what was it?
It was, I had to get part of a cavity like filled again.
Oh God.
But it's because I told them I didn't want to do it last time I was there.
Yeah, push the ball.
I couldn't do that again because they forego like the fee that it costs. Like if you have a cancellation, in a less than 24-hour window, they give you all of this information up front. So like the terms and policies and all that. And they're so great. I was like, I have to be out of here by 3:15. And they were like, oh, it'll be way earlier than that. And then they were like all rushed because I was also getting my teeth cleaned and getting the cavity like filled.
You had a day.
I had a whole day and I did not brain it before going there. And getting a cavity filled is like so fucking intense.
Well, here's the deal I've only gotten a couple cavities filled. Even though Chip keeps trying to add another one. Just kidding. But like I told you the last time, and I have to switch dentists, I went in and I was like, I feel everything. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like getting numbed at the dentist, I need more.
Yeah, and they that's the thing is that
the thought of the smell of it.
Sorry guys, I mean I guess we should have been like trigger warning the mouth teeth talk. When they put the needle of I guess numbing whatever it is in the back of your mouth, they do it so slowly, and this has happened to every dentist. Like I can't see what they're doing, thank God.
Right,
but I'm like, shouldn't the needle just be like a one? You're done.
Mm-hmm.
They put it in there so slowly. And I was like, and then I knew that it would like, it's way better than it even was driving over here. But I was like, I can't tell them more because then I literally won't be able to talk for the next few hours.
We would have had the podcast go up late if it meant you could have been more comfortable during this procedure.
No, it was totally fine. It ended up being totally fine.
Okay.
But there was like that panic of like, they're like, do you want more? Does it feel okay? I was like, yeah, it feels okay. I can't. But like, I hope it doesn't hurt because I can't get more right now.
Oh, wow.
So desperately trying not to bite my tongue in real time on this podcast. So forgive me if my mouth seems crazy.
Or if her lisp is just very cute.
Or
don't go falling in love.
Or if I just get cuter.
Sorry. I was also in pain earlier today.
Ooh, how? Why? This is how women greet each other.
Ooh, how? Why? No, it's because I was very much craving a diner lunch. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
And so
That's specific.
Well, I wanted like an omelet and toast, and like I wanted a regular breakfast, not like a fancy sautéed kale kind of like organic. I wanted
Grease.
I wanted Astro Diner.
Yeah.
I wanted all the waitresses are in their 60s.
Yep.
The woman at the front has so much makeup on.
Yeah.
It's Tammy Faye Baker serving pancakes. You know,
like the most authentic people in Los Angeles.
There we go. And our waitress was quite authentic.
Yeah.
I've had her before. Small little lady, probably in her 60s. And a completely normal meal.
Yeah.
A veggie omelet. I got a Greek omelet, add broccoli.
Whoa.
Yeah. Some rye toast. Yes, I'll take butter.
Wow.
With a side of fruit.
Okay. A mixed order of like add the butter, but side of fruit. Add the broccoli.
It's about balance.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Chip, he's a risk taker.
Okay.
He got a country fried steak.
That's what Elliot gets
at a diner?
Yeah. And he'll talk.
Are these boys okay / the same person?
They're from a region in which this is kind of glorified.
Right. They're missing the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
So he got a country fried steak.
That's so funny.
With, so much gravy.
Yeah.
And then hash browns and eggs. And we both were really hungry. I hadn't eaten in like 20 hours.
Okay.
Like just from like traveling, and I went to get lunch with a friend yesterday, but we ended up like only getting a couple apps. And so by the time I got up today, I was like, I'm fucking starving.
Yeah.
So we ate and we did well. And the waitress comes over and just goes, "You must have been hungry." And then laughs to herself for 20 seconds. And me and Chip look at each other as we're still being laughed at. And I was like, real glad I'm a confident person, because this woman just like shamed us for the amount of food we put back. Insane.
Authentic. Very real. You must have been hungry. And you know that
she was floored by how much we ate.
And I like too that you said we did a good job, and she came over and said exactly that.
Too well of a job. Because sometimes my eyes are bigger than my stomach.
Especially in a diner. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The portions are out of control.
Yeah.
But she just mocked us and then dropped the check.
She doesn't care about her tip.
No. And we overtipped.
Yeah.
Because we love that damn diner.
Oh.
But so anyway, that was my afternoon. I was like, oh, great.
Nice.
Thanks so much. Country fried steak. That's so funny. They both ordered that.
They love it so much. And I always have to be like, it is steak, right? Because they're
hamburger patty.
It's and I tried to go to a grocery store once to figure out like how to make one at home, and I could not find this meat anywhere because it's a very specific. It's just like pounded meat. I asked Elliot if it was just ground beef. He was like, no, there is like a type of meat that has been pounded this way. I'm sure you could just use ground beef.
Pound that meat. It was one of those steaks. I'm not sure. Oh, but it was complete opposite of the meal I had on Friday.
On Friday, okay.
In Napa.
Yes, okay. I can imagine that it would be opposite than a meal you had in Napa.
I went to a Michelin star restaurant.
Damn.
And it was wild.
Really?
Yeah. Like as soon as we got there, I recognized the chef from like Top Chef Masters and things like that. But so we go, and Jacqueline booked it, of course, and she was like, like, Merry Christmas. This is your thing. We go up. It's like in the middle of a vineyard. It feels very much like I haven't seen the movie The Menu, but one of those things where you go, oh, we could all be murdered tonight.
Yeah, I have seen that movie.
It felt like
shocking that you haven't seen that movie.
I know. But so we get there, and there's only like 12 people to a seating. Right? So first of all, it was freaky because we just walk up and the guy happened to be opening the door when we got there. So it felt very like, come on in.
Wait, the chef?
No. Like the maitre d'.
Oh, okay. Like you're walking into a haunted mansion.
Exactly. Yeah. And you walk in and it's very dark, and he's like, hello, Johnson party. The journey will begin in the bubbles room. Right? And we're like, oh God. Oh Jesus. Right? I'm living for this. This is my favorite shit. But so we go into one room, and it's just a place where like you're going to have a glass of champagne or a martini. Let me tell you this. And this is an incredible move.
Okay.
If you order a martini, they put dry ice in your glass and like get it crazy cold and then like have like the smoke come up.
Nice.
I mean, the touches were beautiful.
Yeah, that's porn.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So we sit down and they're like, the chef would like to start the journey. They just kept saying journey. And they put down a little thing of like 5 little bites. And it was like, start with sweet, then move to sour, then move to salty, then move to umami. So it was like waking up all your senses with a little 1 bite of each.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loved it.
Okay.
You know, the salty one was like a tiny Gruyere cheese puff. Come on.
A fancy cheese puff.
But there are a couple of them. I looked at Jacqueline and I was like, I won't spit anything out tonight because I know this is fancy, but this is fucking weird.
Was it all vegetarian?
So there's a vegetarian tasting menu and a regular.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it was great.
Yeah.
So anyway, we start our journey and then they take us into the kitchen and they have like a big horseshoe table just facing the chef in the kitchen as they cook.
How do you feel about that?
Here's the thing. This chef I already knew from like watching, Douglas Keane is his name, from watching shows that he's like a well-liked, genuine, like cool guy. Like literally I Googled him after and I was like, he was involved in a lawsuit because he was suing a dog shelter for like trying to save a dog. Like a good person. Okay. Right? If it was a normal chef, scary chef,
right?
PTSD from working at restaurants.
Yeah, exactly.
No, thank you.
Yeah. It's just, I can never tell if that's what everyone wants, you know, to be seen like doing that kind of stuff. I mean, because it's like, is that to compare it? Would that be people watching us do our live show on stage when we're doing like, here's the stuff we want you to see? Or would it be equivalent to them coming backstage and seeing us getting ready to go on stage?
Here's the thing. I think you're at a Michelin restaurant. They are so well oiled.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? That it's kind of like, people could come backstage and watch us if we were doing the same show we've done for 3 years.
Right.
And like there's nothing goes wrong. You know what I mean? Like, tweezers, the whole 9, right? Yes. So, I mean, they're bringing, and he comes and he greets everyone and tells us about every single little thing we're about to eat. And he's like, feel free to get up and walk around the kitchen, ask questions, like do whatever you want.
Like walk around the people cooking food.
We walked around the kitchen
and talk to the people. Like
one of the chefs was like, would you like me to take the pictures for you? And she took the best picture I've ever taken in my life.
Incredible.
But they had the craziest little dishes. They came over. Mine was, of course, modified. A foie gras Oreo. It was a tiny Oreo with the imprint of the restaurant on the cookie and on the inside. So it was like
what's foie gras?
It's gross. It's like duck
liver.
Yeah. It's like very unethical. I was like, I'm not looking. Mine's made of cashews. I was like, I'm good. You know,
I do my part.
But, you know, I did a few things. You know, there was like a little tiny mushroom thing that I ate. Even though I don't like mushrooms.
You don't like mushrooms. I love mushrooms.
I got through some stuff.
Okay.
Like I can appreciate the artistic value of it while knowing it's not my palate. You know what I mean? Of course.
There you go.
So we wrap that up. They take us into another room. I'm like, I'm full. They take us into another room and bring us like 5 more courses.
Wow.
Right?
So all 12 of you are moving together.
It's the journey, baby.
Okay.
So then we're at like our own tables at this point. It's the main room.
This is exactly, like that movie.
Yep. And then we do that and they end. They're like the 5 bites again of the 5 senses, but this time in dessert. And then they're like, Johnson Party, would you like to grab your things and come with us? And then they take just us, because it's table by table, into a small dark room that's like all brown. You're like, you're in a booty hole. And there's a huge fountain, like a waterfall that's chocolate.
Okay.
That's just chocolate. And it's got like, you know, a light beaming the name of the restaurant on it. And they were like, you might have seen Willy Wonka. This is a little bit of whimsy to end the meal. And I'm like 2 martinis and a glass of champagne deep. And I'm like, whimsy it up, baby.
My God. Yeah.
I was like, let's fucking ride Augustus Gloop. So anyway, so they have this chocolate going. And then he goes, if you see before you, there are 2 chocolate coins. And I wanted to eat it. And he was like, walk over and make a wish. And you just throw the chocolate coin into the chocolate fountain.
This is so silly.
So silly. Then you walk back over. Then they have like this golden urn of this like insane chocolate hot cocoa. Okay. They pour your little cocoa. Then they give you a bite of chocolate. Then they give you a bag to go with like a row of chocolate in it.
So you don't actually dip anything in this chocolate fountain and eat it on the spot?
No.
Wow. Okay.
I know.
That is a little disappointing.
I know.
But I get how that could become problematic.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just more of
splatterback on people's clothes.
I didn't even think of splatterback. I was thinking more like just sanitary.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So maybe they used to let you do something and now they're like, toss the coin. It was wild.
Is this like it's almost a parody of itself? Like it's
they
so absurd
that
I'm like, at what point does it like circle back? Is that the whole point of the bear, that it's like it's circling back around to do like, you know, sandwiches out of a window?
That's what I wonder. I've always thought that about the bear. It's like, okay, so the only thing making money is the sandwiches. So so this is like a a statement on the fact that like it's taken too seriously and people just want good food.
Right. Yeah. That's,
yeah,
because it's like, so that sounds beautiful.
It was wonderful. And like, he put a comment on my Instagram the next day and I fangirled because chefs are my rock stars.
Yeah.
So it was very cool, but it was also like, I looked at Jacqueline and I was like, could have a slice of pizza after this.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's so tiny and beautiful. I'd be like, I gotta have a backup meal.
We went home and ate popcorn.
Perfect. Yeah. That's what you gotta do.
But it was very cool. And I think I've been to places that are Michelin guide or have a Michelin star, but this is the first time I've been to one that it felt like, oh, you're in this like crazy like experience.
Yeah. Like this is another level. This is another dimension.
I love that.
Are they all like that or moving in that direction of making it like almost like a full sensory experience?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
I don't know, but it was cool, man. If anyone would like to take me for some free meals. Y'all, the only thing I love more than using Audible is a best of list. Well, guess what? Audible has their best of 2024 picks, and they are here. You can discover the year's top audiobooks, podcasts, and originals, all in your favorite genres. From memoirs to sci-fi to mysteries to thrillers, romance, well-being to fiction, Audible's carefully curated list in every category is the best way to hear 2024's best of the year in audio entertainment. Like an almost unbelievably star-studded production of George Orwell's 1984, which both honors the original and reinvigorates the terrifying classic. It's one of the best original dramatizations we have ever heard. Or baby, if you want some romance, try Emily Henry's Funny Story. I'm absolutely obsessed with Emily Henry. We have chosen some of Emily's books for our book club before, and this one is just as great. Or Audible has heartfelt memoirs like Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's lovely one. I just downloaded part 1 of Cher's memoir that just came out. So I'm so excited to hear about Cher's life from the incredible, iconic voice of Cher. Or you could listen to the year's best fiction like The Women by Kristen Hanna and Percival Everett's brilliantly subversive Janes. There are so many titles. It doesn't matter what kind of thing you're looking for. You can go into the Audible app and download something that is going to scratch that itch. There is more to imagine when you listen. So go to audible.com/TMGW and discover all the year's best waiting for you. That's audible.com/TMGW. You guys, I am not just reading an ad. I've been an Audible customer for years. Get in there.
Today we have support from Cornbread Hemp, America's first ever USDA organic THC gummy. It's time for a healthy happy hour, a natural and healthier way to experience a carefree moment. Cornbread's THC gummies offer a balanced sense of happiness and relaxation. And like I said, they're America's first USDA organic THC edible, proudly grown in Kentucky. Sorry, I sort of slipped into a southern accent, southern light. There's a 1-to-1 THC to CBD ratio, which makes it perfect for taking the edge off without making you feel anxious or paranoid like other cannabis edibles might be able to do. 10 milligrams of THC per gummy, so it's just the right dose. Cornbread uses no harsh solvents like petrochemicals or industrial acids, unlike most hemp THC products. And there's no synthetic ingredients. Farm Bill compliant and legal for adults over 21. I use their hemp sleep gummies, which I highly recommend. I'm looking at their website now and they have 4.5 stars with over 3,000 reviews. So people are out there using the sleep gummies. If you're looking for a healthier way to enjoy a carefree moment, you have to give cornbread hemp a try. They've created the first ever USDA organic THC gummy that's 100% legal. As a special offer for This Might Get Weird listeners, you can get 30% off your first order. Just visit cornbreadhemp.com/TMGW and use promo code TMGW at checkout. Again, that's cornbreadhemp.com/TMGW and use code TMGW for 30% off your first order. Cheers to a healthier happy hour. You know where I'd like to go for a meal?
Astro Diner, where you get fat shamed for finishing your omelet.
No, that Rainforest Cafe.
Yes.
In, where is it, Texas? That has like a full-on like water ride.
Galveston, I think, Texas. Okay. They have like a safari water ride.
See, that's the kind of food journey I want to go on.
Listen, you know good and well there's nothing more majestic than when we went to Rainforest Cafe and found one piece of corn in our nachos. And we said, is this a golden ticket?
Yep.
Do we win something for finding this single kernel of corn?
Nope.
Nothing.
No, we didn't.
No, but I would absolutely go to that Rainforest Cafe with you.
Yeah.
I'd like to hit them all before they close.
Honestly, I'd like to just go to any Rainforest Cafe. I haven't been to one lately.
There's one on the way to Palm Springs.
Is there really? I don't think I knew this.
Well, it's like a little further. It's like a little.
Okay.
But like 15 minutes or something.
Still worth it.
You know how I know that? It's from our super fan and listener, Greg Varley.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I saw him like go to a Rainforest Cafe, and then I looked it up and I was like, that's literally off the 10.
Damn.
We got to go.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to go and check it out. I'd love to just have it confirmed that this is an sensory overload experience and maybe not as enjoyable as I have it in my mind.
You know what I'd love? I would love a super fancified version of Rainforest Cafe.
That's what I'm screaming. That's what my idea for that like tea room goes to chain restaurants sort of hybrid idea of like, how do you make a really sophisticated version of a, suburban chain restaurant?
Well, I went to Chain Fest. There's a restaurant doing that in LA.
Like a full sit down restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it's called Chain, and they like just do a different chain restaurant for like every 3 months.
See, I would love if they took like the branding of one restaurant and did like a whole, like you're walking into like, here's Outback Steakhouse elevated.
That's literally what it is.
But I thought this was like a combination of a bunch of different.
No. That was the festival. They only do one restaurant at a time. So you'll go and it's just Pizza Hut.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll go.
I would love that.
Anyway, speaking of chain restaurants, I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but we have to address the elephant in the room.
I have to be honest. I don't have any notes this week other than I've been looking up Luigi all day and all night. And it is
fascinating. We'll say fascinating.
It's a reality like it's so, we all know why we're obsessed with it. It is like I keep getting this visual, like the internet's the story itself obviously endlessly fascinating because it's ongoing.
It's like unfolding as we speak. Like we started to record and I said to Grace, I was like, I don't want to talk about it at length because like so much is unraveling in real time that I would hate to be like, say something and then it's negated before we even put up the podcast. If you're like, this guy, he's got a point here. And then it's like, we find out he was in the Proud Boys. Like, there's too much.
The caveat is that the internet is fucking ejaculating with thoughts about this situation.
It's just city.
Like, I just keep getting this visual of like, those old timey like scenes of like a fire hydrant exploding in the street and everyone like going in the city and dancing.
A block party.
It's like that's what the internet feels like. It's reveling in this like explosion of information that's happening right now. And it's so interesting to watch it unfold in real time, to see the way just to be confirmed that the internet is a horny internet.
Listen, if this guy wasn't hot, no one would be even talking about it right
the
now.
Anthropologists, sociologists, and psychologists must be fucking typing thesis statement after thesis statement and studying the social movements of how people are behind and like supporting or thirsting after this and the relationship it has to him being a certain level of undeniable attractiveness. Yeah. It's not even like it's subjective at this point.
The internet is very, no matter how you feel about it, the internet is very fun. I do think Dave Franco came immediately.
Oh, that's what I was like. Yeah, there's a TikTok of a guy being like Timothy Chalamet, Jacob Eller. How do you say his last name? Elordi, and Dave Franco fighting to play him.
It's Dave Franco.
You think so?
I feel like they look so much alike. And I feel like Dave Franco is a very funny, very talented guy who hasn't gotten as much work because his brother sucks. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. But anyway, it's so much happening right now. You want to hear something fucked up?
Sure. Yeah.
Someone said, and I agreed, that in the tragedy, someone was like, this is the most fun the internet has been since the submarine exploded.
I saw that too.
And I was like, yeah.
That's what I mean.
And then that was the most fun day since Trump got COVID.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The internet, this is the shit that kind of defies party lines and brings internet together in this way, or has opportunity to bring internet together in a way that is just ongoing. Like, we all have conversations for our parents over the holidays now. Like, this will be something that we continue to follow. Like, I went to the dentist this afternoon, came back in, and Mamrie told me things that had happened that I had missed because I stopped looking at it at like 2 p.m. And an hour later, there's an entire manifesto that's now released to the public.
So basically, it's kind of like just watch this space. We are fast. I mean,
everyone else, we're fascinated.
Like everyone, every single detail that's coming out, be it Monopoly money or what have you. I'm just like,
oh, there's a tweet that said, and this is where I'm like, what is this real? That he was streaming "Criminal" by Britney Spears 15 hours before his arrest because they got his Spotify.
Yeah, but I've
account.
also heard that he asked the cops to play Charlie XCX when he was in the car. Like, who knows?
Right.
Like, it's so all over the place.
Also, Luigi Mario Brothers beanies, 100,000 of them were purchased off of Amazon yesterday. Like, we are not saying anything in one way or another, but the internet is
going wild.
It is, and it's like fascinating.
Yeah,
it's
it
really
is fascinating.
Wow. And I will continue to watch it unfold in real time because, like, the YouTube video that went up that was scheduled.
I know.
The other one that was scheduled that got taken down. That was like YouTube CEOs.
There we go.
Be careful.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful.
Like,
okay, well, this is kind of in relation to that.
Yeah.
As we talk about like casting. How do you feel about how many lookalike contests there are now?
Oh, yeah. Did we talk about Timothy Chalamet showing up at his own
now that
lookalike
I
contest?
loved, and here's what I'm going to say about the Chalamet moment.
See, that to me, I was like, this feels unsafe.
Oh, see, here's what I'll say.
Okay.
I was always like, ugh, Timothy Chalamet, like, you know, like quite talented, but like just a rich, you know, like private theater school LA kid.
Yeah.
I think he might be one of the greatest performance artists of our time.
Oh, okay.
That was an absolute exaggeration.
Okay.
I'm just saying that to say he's growing on me because A, he showed up to his lookalike contest, which is fucking fun.
Yeah.
B, did you just see he was a commentator for college football this weekend and like knew his shit?
Excellent.
Either that or he really memorized a great script.
Yeah. There is a bit of like, how much of this is strategy and he is acting the part of interesting actor.
However, that doesn't really help sell Bob Dylan tickets. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's in a sports movie. And then I was like, is it performance art that of all the people in the world he's choosing to date Kylie Jenner? Like, I don't know.
Right.
I think he's an interesting, tiny guy.
Yeah. I mean, it all feels specific.
It does.
And, you know, like a strategy
towards something.
Because the girl he's dating, her entire family is built off of PR strategies.
There we go.
So it does feel like he's learning.
There's something else going on back there. But anyway, all of these lookalike contests, I think because I saw that one of them.
Oh, the bear one too?
There was a bear one. There was a Bach from Wicked. We'll get back to that. There was but there was one in Times Square Park that was Luigi before he was caught.
Yeah, this is where everyone's just going nuts.
But here's the thing. I've also seen, Rachel Sennett. There was one. There's so many of them, but I just go, if there's a lookalike contest for someone really attractive, like, did you see the Jeff Goldblum one?
No.
Oh my God. A ringer came in at the end and I was like, oh my God, Jeff Goldblum showed up at his real one.
Yeah.
It's not Jeff. It's a guy who looks and his mannerisms are so much like him that people thought he showed up to his own one.
Wow.
But I'm kind of loving it
Yeah.
I think I feel bad for some people who show up and I'm like, oh, baby, who told you look like that very attractive person?
But also for the actor themselves, it's got to be humbling to be like, I look like that. And also potentially that. Okay.
Well, as someone who's been sent DMs that was like, oh, wow, she really reminded me of you. And it's the woman who screams dark-sided from Wife Swap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dark-sided. I mean, the amount of doppelgangers I've gotten where I went like, how did you even think it was okay to send me that?
Yeah.
Like you had a choice.
Yeah.
You had we aren't friends. You didn't see someone in real time and go like, she kind of looks like you. You chose to send me that. But so I agree with what you're saying. If you had a lookalike contest and you're like, these are the entries.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I do like that they're picking up in, I guess, popularity now.
I just like that we're getting some fun things going.
Yeah.
In real life. It's not just like send in your picture. It's like actual things that people are going
Brings
to.
community together.
We need community.
That's right. Well, that's what's happening right now.
I know.
This absolutely absurd, and we don't condone. We condemn.
Do not condone.
I've learned from all the Twitch streamers, we have to say what we're seeing online here, and we don't condone. We condemn.
Okay.
And so, this is bringing community together.
I agree.
There you go.
I started going off so hard about doppelgangers. I felt like my aunt, so I thought I would just put on the glasses.
Nice.
Okay, yeah. I hope we have more in-person community fun, just some silliness.
Yeah.
We just need some freaking silliness.
Yeah, exactly. Let's be honest. What most people really want for the holidays is to see their favorite people more often. That's why this year the best gift that you can give besides plane tickets is an Aura digital picture frame. Now, I'm obsessed with this product, okay? It's named the #1 digital photo frame by Wirecutter. Aura frames are incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. My parents got an Aura frame a few years ago. This year, Elliot's parents are getting an Aura frame. Everyone's getting Aura frames. We even have one in our house currently. It's amazing. Plus, you can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app. So it's ready to go right out of the box, which is what we plan to do with Elliot's parents this year. I'm expecting to see some tears. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code TMGW at checkout. That's Aura, AURA, frames.com. Promo code TMGW. This deal is exclusive to listeners, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions apply. Seriously, this is the best parents/in-laws/ aunts, uncles, distant cousins gift that you can get. It is truly so sentimental, so easy, so sleek.
Let me ask you this. Is giving deodorant as a gift offensive? Well, I guess it depends on the deodorant, you know? If I was handed a big box of deodorant that was like, oh, here's some powdery stuff for your stinky, stinky armpits, well then yeah, I might be a little offended. But if someone gave me a different kind of deodorant, specifically Lumi, well, that's a totally different story because Lumi is just a whole body experience. If you haven't heard the hype around Lumi, let me fill you in. Lumi is a whole body deodorant created by an OBGYN for all the places odor naturally forms on your body. So obviously underarms, but also feet. Hello? You know how many times I've worn a pair of slip-on shoes and then I just have to leave them outside my house or throw them away because they got too stinky? Baby, I load my little toes up with Lumi and we don't have that problem. Plus the under boobs, wow. Okay, it is like a full water slide down there, but with Lumi, my bras aren't getting wet immediately when I walk in the sun, even intimate areas. The thing I love about it is that it was created by an OB/GYN who saw firsthand how BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours, y'all. Yeah, you might have a sweaty night out dancing, but you can put it on in the morning and you're still going to be protected, okay? You are not going to have rivers underneath those boobs. Plus, it smells friggin' delicious, all right? There are scents like clean tangerine, lavender sage, or my personal favorite, toasted coconut. It's pH balanced for safe use below the belt, baking soda free, and paraben free. So if you want to give the gift of Lumi, confidence, or treat yourself, head to LumiDeodorant.com and use our exclusive code TMGW for an extra 15% off all Lumi products. That's right. And Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash or the deodorant wipes, which are amazing to throw into your purse, and free shipping. As a free offer for our listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. So use code TMGW for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code TMGW at LumiDeodorant.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Would you like to hear about what happened to me at Gaze Hardware?
Yeah, what happened?
Well, just because it was nothing bad. It was because I brought it up last week.
Yeah.
And so I like that we've started
actually remembering to talk about the thing we left off at last week.
that, but also ending on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, we're really keeping you guys hooked. We saw the Spotify Wraps.
Right?
We gotta keep y'all
We
hooked.
gotta keep you hooked. And it also, it's like, we don't mean to cliffhanger so much as we go, I had another thing I'm too tired now.
2 adult women with ADHD that go on 17,000 tangents. So it's not like we are legitimately setting a seed at the end of an episode. We're just forgetting.
We're just absolutely forgetting. But okay, so this is just cute. So I went to Ace Hardware in Palm Springs 2 days before Thanksgiving. I got down there. I was like, I've got to put in a new filter in the fridge. I got to things like that. The non-fun things, you know?
Yeah.
And so I go.
Admin. House admin.
Had Alsman. I needed to get some copies of the key.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have one for you.
Thank you.
And I got it shaped like a palm tree.
That's really cute.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Because then you're not going to look at the key and be like, what is that to?
Which one is it?
There we go.
These are important things. This is the little hits of dopamine that you need as adults in your life.
Truly. So anyway, I go up to Ace Hardware. A guy, he's like, oh, we don't have that water filter. I normally get it there. He's like, it'll be cheaper on Amazon. I was like, I know, but I got friends coming and they're going to think the water's dirty, even though it's barely been used. It's just on a timer. We're having a great time. And everyone in there is a 65 or older gay man.
Oh, yeah. I took my mom there when they were visiting and it felt like she was belle of the ball there.
Yeah, I feel like your mom could work there.
Everyone was like, do you need help? I was like, please, because now she's just having a full conversation with this man.
She's just sitting on the outdoor patio furniture.
They're like this, almost 6 foot blonde woman that comes in, just strides in, looking like she doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, she's their queen.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I was being worshipped and I was in a sweatshirt with no bra. Workout pants, literally the same outfit I wore the day before, and a baseball hat.
Yeah.
And they were still like, who's this little vixen? I was like, lay it on me. So anyway, he was like, let me go see if I can find this. In the meantime, back left corners where you'll get the keys made. I was like, okay. So I go back there. The guy's not paying attention for a minute. There's a bell to ring, but it just felt kind of...
That's a hard
He was
call.
within eye shot.
Yeah, that's a real
And it's a loud machine.
That's a psychological setup.
Yeah.
A bell, ringing any bell, old school bell, just makes you feel like an absolute asshole, regardless of whether that is the system in place.
The only time I want to ring a bell is when I eventually become the old lady on Southern Charm.
Yeah,
and
Patricia.
That's to say I want a martini.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's it, the martini bell. But so anyway, I'm like, oh, should I do it? And of course, and I eventually do it. Oh no, another guy comes up, another older man, a customer, and he's like, ring the bell. I'm like, okay, ring the bell, right? Comes over, talks. I'm like, I'll just take 2 of these in the palm tree, and he's like, he clearly gets a lot of keys made.
Yeah,
he's been there for a bit, right? So he's talking to me, and we're both waiting for our keys, and Cyndi Lauper is playing on the speakers.
Of course, yeah.
Maybe True Colors. I don't remember which song, right? So he goes, I just saw Cyndi Lauper perform last week. And I was like, oh, I saw she was coming out here. How was it? He's like, it's incredible. She's in her 70s and she sounded amazing. And I was like, yeah, I wish I would have gone. And I'm thinking the keys are about to come out, right? He goes, I was a flight attendant from 1960s. He said from 1968 to 82. I was like, oh, you don't say. And he goes, I had Cindy in first class multiple times. And I go, really? And he goes, Cyndi Lauper and Tina Turner. I was their flight attendant several times because I worked the first class cabin.
Several. Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's incredible. Yeah, that's amazing.
Cool.
And then I was like, that's very cool. And he was like, So one time, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. I'm like, buckle up. I'm like, so he just basically tells me that Cyndi Lauper would always fly with her cat and he would feed her cat caviar. And she thought it was so funny.
Wow. On like a commercial plane?
I don't know.
Does caviar smell?
I don't think so. I think it's light enough. Like, I think they will serve like braised cod in first class. So I think like caviar is pretty neutral. Okay. You know what I mean? But so he was like, yep, I would serve Cindy's cat a little caviar on top. and she just loved it. And she was so nice. And I go, oh, that's fantastic. I was like, that's a fantastic image. Like, that's a great story. He goes, Tina, on the other hand. I go, oh God. I was like, oh no. He was like, she was fine, Tina. And, of course I had to interject. I thought he was just going to shit talk Tina Turner. I went, those legs. Yeah. I'm like, she's a legend. She's one of my favorites. He just goes, well, she was very particular about her wine, and I brought her over a Chardonnay, and she spit it out and said, I don't like this. I don't like this wine at all. Do you have anything sweeter? And he was like, let me check. Okay. And he goes, so I go back there. I'm like literally just waiting for 2 keys to be made. He's like, so I go back there. I put 2 packets of sugar in the glass, stir it up, come back out, tell her it's Moscato. She loved it. I go, wow.
Okay.
He was like, she had 3 glasses of it. Her favorite wine. I was like, wow. And then I went, and then, ma'am, your keys. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for those stories, sir. Yeah.
Hopefully she didn't have diabetes or anything that needed to watch her sugar intake. But
I was just like, okay. How quickly, Cyndi Lauper was playing, but will we have gotten there? Even if she wasn't?
Yeah.
Well, he would have been like, have you been to any concerts lately?
That was his perfect in. So he knew he had to strike because that was the perfect moment for it not to seem totally obscure.
Yeah.
And he got you.
He got me.
Has he ever heard of podcasting? Because that's where stories like that could really sail.
Yeah. Sail. Really fly. No, I mean, but flight attendants of that era.
Right. I mean, I'm like, do flight attendants sign like NDAs about like first class?
I think only if it's a private.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm, because I was watching some cooking show recently. I don't know what it was, but it might have been like what is it? Like a Master Chef. I'm not a regular watcher, but every once in a while I get sucked in. Yeah. Right? And this girl, she was specifically a chef on a private jet.
A chef on a private jet.
Yeah. So she was like, it's very limited. Like I am essentially the flight attendant, but also I am a trained chef, and so I have to make the meals.
Oh, so they make, I guess that makes sense. They make meals in real time.
But I was like, that'd be a really great way to assassinate someone.
Yeah, that's
poison their food on a PJ.
Speaking of, I saw.
Sorry, government. I'm not involved in it.
Allegedly, don't condone.
Don't condone.
We don't condone. We condemn. I just saw someone's TikTok doing a good RFK impression about how Luigi looks so good in his photo with McDonald's.
And RFK looked very pained.
Yeah, he was very upset about it. Great impression. Lots of opportunities for lots of angles of thought. That is one of the most fun things to see. Everyone's creativity on what it is they're picking up on, what it is they're making content around.
You've never sounded more like a school teacher where every kid is fighting. What a beautiful opportunity to see multiple versions of thought.
Yeah. I mean, the creativity that is flourishing from this absolute absurdity.
It abounds.
Is interesting.
One
endlessly.
Might say it abounds. I did a hot Pilates class on Saturday.
Nice.
And let me tell you.
Hot Pilates.
It was HIIT. It was HIIT class. Remember what we used to do with Ross? Where it'd be you work out for 40 seconds, then you rest for 20 seconds. Then
but just Pilates?
No. But it was they called it Pilates, but it was high intensity Pilates or whatever in a heated room.
Did it give you a panic attack?
No, I love a heated room. Okay. I will say though, we went in and Jacqueline hadn't been there before. Yeah. And we were like, oh, I was like, thank God most of these people are older. Yeah. I was like, because I can keep up with this now.
Yeah.
When I tell you, they were going insane. They were grabbing extra weights to like make it harder for themselves. I was
the women
panting.
of Napa.
It was crazy. This one older gentleman who had like an RFK body, he was probably like 70 years old.
Yeah.
Like we were doing bridges. I looked over, he grabbed extra weights. I looked over and I was like, that man fucks.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy.
Wow.
But all that to say, I have been walking like Frankenstein for 3 days.
Have you? Yeah.
I can't move.
I'm sure it's the hardest workout ever.
Yeah.
But it gets results.
How's your beast body doing?
I just got back into it. So I also am very sore because I took time off. But I just did some this morning so I can feel, that I'm a little sore. I'm also looking to switch it up.
Really?
I've been doing, and it's also, for those of you, it's not called Beast Body.
It's not?
Elliot and I have been calling it that so as a joke for so long. It's called like either Body Beast or Body something.
Right.
That I forgot that we called it that name by a
They're
joke.
not paying us.
Well, no, I've gotten so many comments of being like, can anyone tell me where to find this workout that Grace is talking about? Because it's not called Beast Body. It's called like Body, BODI or something. Anyway, it's one of those where I've been doing it now for too long. I need some variety.
Should we mix it up? Should we try some new classes and things?
Yeah, I would love to, honestly, because
fun.
I'm also in that bizarro frame of mind where I'm considering getting into running next year in a way that preps me for like a marathon or something.
Well, let's just be honest. Our friend Katie.
Yeah, she planted a seed.
She texted us on a group text.
Yeah.
And she runs marathons.
She ran the New York Marathon like 2 years ago, I think.
Or this past year.
Well, not this one, the one before it, because this one just happened like 2 weeks ago. She texted us the day that the New York Marathon was happening because she was like top of mind.
Okay, well, she ran something this year because I remember her husband, our friend James, got COVID or something, and she was like, "No, I'm just going to this city by myself to run it. This sucks." But anyway, all that to say, she texted both of us and was like, "Hey, just planting a seed that registration's open if you two wanted to maybe do the New York Marathon next year. I'm just saying."
Yeah.
And then I just didn't even respond and just watched you two go back and forth about details. And then I was like, "Do you even know me?"
I know I was like, I don't think this will be for Mamrie unless Mamrie is having a midlife crisis and wants to do something completely exhausting. But like, I talked to my stepmom last night who has run a few marathons, and even she was like, ooh, like the hesitation of I really want to do that? But it's the most absolutely cliche thing you can do post having cancer.
That's true. You need that cliche pin.
Right. And then 2, next year I'm turning 40. So it's like the level of cliche piles up in a way. And 3, the opportunity to potentially run. I started researching about how you can work with different, nonprofits and like that sort of thing. So there are breast cancer research foundations and things like that do sponsor people to run in the New York Marathon. So I'm like, oh, that would be really meaningful. And
that would be.
Because you raise money for,
the specific thing.
The foundation.
Do they
and
have
then
like
you
a
run.
New York, third of a marathon?
They do. There's one that's happening in March. That's like in prep, I guess, for the the one in November. I don't know. It's just I'm at the start of my considerations about it.
I think I responded, I will gladly research where to sit and have cocktails and cheer for you as you run by.
100%.
Oh, man.
But in the meantime, I would like to try other exercises and see what happens.
Okay.
Also, quick note, I saw Wicked. I don't think you've seen it yet.
No.
I wrote a Patreon post about it.
I've been waiting to read your Patreon post until I see it.
It is. I got to see it again.
You want to go with me?
I would go again.
Because Chip ain't going to go. He said, is it a musical? And I go, yeah. And he goes, like, the whole time? And I said, yeah.
It's only the first half of it, too.
I know.
But it goes quicker than it seems like it should on paper. But man, musical theater, dramatic. I forget how dramatic musical theater is, but it's also excellent. It was really great. But you can go on our Patreon if you want to read the thoughts about it.
See, that was a good cliffhanger.
Right? There's a little cliffhanger.
Oh, by the way, that's going to be there. Here's what I will set up for next week. Because I know we both love this shark from Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Barbara Corcoran did an interview recently about her sex life. And it's fascinating.
Okay.
I'll leave you with that.
Okay. She's staying in the mix. Also, next week might be our last episode of the year.
Oh shit! Then that's not wasted on Barbara Corcoran fucking.
I just looked at the calendar and I'm like, the following week will be Christmas, and then the following week will be New Year's Day.
Christmas is that soon?
Yeah, I know. I haven't
bought a single thing.
Yeah, I'm all over the place trying to figure out what to get everyone. But
well, guys, we're gonna get off of here because we have drinks plans in 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I do have to check Twitter. I have to see what's been going on.
Who knows what's happened since we started doing this?
That's what I mean.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, this Luigi ride is going to be even crazier than when we went to go see the Mario movie in 4D.
Yes.
Oh.
Good segue.
Thank you. This got weird.